Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another preview. We've got the Kennedy Oaks tomorrow. Very exciting day on the cards. Shows obviously powered by puntingform.com.au and Baggy Bet, our Baggy Bet app. Download and obviously gamble responsibly. Speaking of the weekend first for the Bloodstock crew, we had Keats winning the Peninsula Cup Sunday, which was very, very exciting. And not only that, White Marlin, who he ran second to, coming out and absolutely blitzing them in the Macca's run yesterday at Flemington, looking like a great form line there. Obviously, if you want to get involved with any of the Bloodstock stuff, message Jono at themailbag.com and he'll sort you out. I'm here with Rob, Shane, Jacko. We'll start with you. You were trackside yesterday. Obviously, trackside Sunday as well. How was it?
Yesterday wasn't as enjoyable as Sunday. It was a bloody rewarding day. Sunday took the two kids. It's different. Like we watch the races, from our caves all the time and on TV, and it's a bit different when you're on track and you're worried where your kids got to or stuff like that. But in hindsight, like Rob, was Keats ever losing that race?
Never losing. Unlike the thing in Japan, Equinox, that looked like it was going to get beat. But do yourself a favour, pundits. You haven't seen that race of the year.
Shane, what do you think?
He's.
Did it lift your spirits, which probably needed a bit of lifting there, like halfway through the back end of Sunday?
Nah. No, you can't kill what's already dead, and you can't lift them out of the grave either. I was dead Sunday. Yeah, it was a dominant win. Considering that, he doesn't go as good on heavy and all that sort of stuff. He was winning from after the first 200 meters. So yeah, it was like this pain-free, I suppose. But he's got he's had a big ROI for owners. Gavin's done a great job with him. When we bought the horse, I thought coming out of the factory that it come out of, he'd have to start again with him, put him in the paddock and refresh and start again. But he just soldiered on, and he's been enormous. And that was a nice win. And interesting to see where he goes next. And
with 100 metres
sure
left
to go, Keats is looking at the Peninsula Cup, and he'll get it.
By winning that race, we ballot into the ballot exempt into the Cranny Cup, but there's couple of other cups we might look at, which might be a little bit softer. So we'll just weigh up when they come. But, our first cup, we're on the board. So onwards and upwards. Now we look at third day, race 8, Oaks Day, third day of the carnival. It's rained while they've raced the first 2 days of this carnival. I think we can give out our first full credit to the track, Gab. It's handled the racing and the rain pretty well, considering.
It has handled a lot. And I'm not sure what the weather's doing between now and then, if there is going to be a bit more, which may make it very, very sticky there. But as you said, Jack, it has handled it well. And if we have a look at the Oaks, not a big field here, and not a lot sort of happening, if you ask me.
We'll roll the speed map up onto the screen now, and just before we started, Shane, Rob, and I all sort of had varying opinions, and Gab's probably got another one too. This is my speed map. I think it's tricky to map these horses when they're stepping out to like a really foreign trip for them. There's going to be some horses here they're not really confident about, so they definitely don't want to lead. But I thought Pavitra and Zenzella would be the sort of first two in the running line of those that can win. But I think they'd hope that Saint crosses them and gives them a little bit of cover. This will be race 8. So I've got them on the fence there, but I wouldn't be surprised if they sort of angle off. And the favourite, She's Extreme's got barrier 1, which is probably, from my research, the only negative.
Well, she is by a sprint sire and extreme choice, so she's possibly going to be tested at the 2,500. She might be way too classy. The ratings have got her way in front, 20 points clear. She paraded the best I'd ever seen last start in the Spring Championship, and she started.
Any alterations to that map, Shane?
Well, it depends. I actually had renaissance woman going forward, because surely the former world #1 tennis player, now horse trainer Bjorn Borg, would have sort of watched that race at Randwick and said, well, I can't out-sprint these. I'm going to have to outstay them, and I've got a really good staying filly, so I think they settle a lot closer. I would expect, and this wouldn't be out of Rachel's hitting zone either, would it, to roll forward, regardless of how fast they're going. I've mapped it settling first 4, because I think it's a really good staying filly compared to these. So anyway, that's the only addition I had to the map from what you've got there. Yeah.
She paraded super in the Spring Champions, and I kind of like her here a little bit, by American Pharaoh. A bit more stoutly bred.
Yeah, she started $20 there though in that same race with Rachel King on.
Oh, you and your SP profile.
Serves me well. Gab, where we head to?
Well, I mean, for me, I absolutely no knock. She's extreme. My concern was the ground on the inside of the track there, what it's going to be like by race 8 on Thursday. So I was sort of heading towards one that I've watched, and I think this horse deserves like a break and to run, run really well. And that's Queen Air. She's been so honest her last 2 starts, and I think she's just screaming out for the 2500 in my opinion. And just been barrier 7 going back. I think she will sort of get to choose like a little bit further out on the track. And I think the 750 is a good price. So I probably got her on top. Absolutely no knock. She's extreme. She ran super behind Sharp and Smart last start. But I just, search for that little bit of value there.
Shane?
By and Queen Air, another eye catcher behind them.
Yeah, well, I've looking around the favourite, I suppose, just because of the obviousness of it. She does get the synthetic hoof filler first time too, Rob, as well as being by the pony Stallion Extreme Choice, who's about this high. So she certainly has to overcome a few things. Plus, she's drawn gate 1. She'll be on the worst part of the track. I don't know how you go full credits to anyone for the way the track's raced. Like the track was like it's barely held up. Please. And in a race where there's there's 2 distinct different form types coming out of the one race, if you like, out of that Zenzella race where they went fast early, set a really good tempo, and then you had those horses that stuck on that tempo, Zenzella, Pravitra, sorry, on speed and too strong. And then you had those like little, you had those sort of, those get back sort of run on horses that looked okay to the eye, that were probably entitled to get past those 2, horses in Zenzella and Pravitra. If they couldn't get over them there, I don't know how they get over them here. I think the key for me in this race is the tactics on Renaissance Woman. I think it's just, as I said earlier, I think she's a staying filly who that sort of, I thought that run in the Ethereal at Caulfield sort of said that she'll go another lap the same speed, and it's completely unwinnable, dead brainless ride. Actually settled in front of She's Extreme when they found their positions, and then Glyn pushed forward and just took her spot, and she's ended up last. And then I thought the ride on She's Extreme was perfectly fine. Like from where it drew, from where it landed, and its position in run, it had every possibility. I thought. I thought he gave it a good ride. The data will tell you that Glyn off for Tommy is a good thing. I'm not too sure that she could have had any more chance. Yes, Sharp and Smart ran well in a derby, beaten by one of those camels that Waller touches on grand final day and they turn into champions. How good is that? How good was that? It was a gun ride, Sharp and Smart in the derby. I think most people that I spoke to since have said J Mac's not on that thing. It probably runs 5th. like gun ride, beat nothing, beat nothing? Is that the, and obviously she's extreme with that, big obvious flashing light run out of that spring champion versus a few horses here that can stay a little bit. Renaissance Woman, obviously, and then that Zenzella Pavitra coming out of that fast run race. You could argue if I'm giving Renaissance Woman a chance, you could say the same for Foxy Cleopatra. But Renaissance Woman tactically, I think, can make this a staying test. And I think if they go forward on it and settle in the first 4, which I think it will, I think it can definitely win and be overs. 2,500 metre race is completely different, obviously, to the 2,000. I just thought that She's Extreme had its chance to sort of sit up, suck up and sprint, where I don't think it's going to get that chance here.
Can I
sprint back to the inside?
Just a bit of sort of student of the game narrative. If you back the winner of the Wakeful every year at better than, it wins 1 in 2 basically, and Zinzella's got JMac on Wakeful winner. It's probably going to go around $6. So there's a reason to gamble responsibly there.
Jack, what are you thinking?
I think She's Extreme's immoral. I think she gets a positive jockey upgrade. I think the Champions is a far superior formula to the Wakeful. I think she gapped the Derby winner. She was as good a run or better than the second place horse in the Derby. She gets an upgrade in rider. She started half the price of Sharp and Smart in that race and 1/5 the price of Renaissance Woman in that race. I think she'll start closer to $2. Barrier 1 in a small field of fillies that no one knows if they can stay isn't an issue. Tommy Berry can put himself wherever he wants. She has tactical speed, this horse, but a lot of these don't. I think this is the easiest bet of all time. I think Let's Be Frank Baby is the horse out of the Wakeful that is a big price and can run a race from a good draw. I think Zenzella was completely blessed in run. Could well be again here, but won't have as much of it over Pavitra as she had it in the Wakeful. I think they should be closer in price. I agree Queen Air Gab was a big run and is a good horse, but they haven't missed her in the market. Whereas Let's Be Frank Baby is still a huge price and got through a really, really heavy Flemington on Oaks preview a while back. There's a very heavy track that day. So she's bomb-proof if the rain does come. I think she's the value play in the race, but don't think, just bet responsibly. She's Extreme will win the Oaks.
All right. Well, we can go probably to our top 5s now if nobody else has anything to add there.
So Shane's top 5. Number 3, Renaissance Woman. Number 4, Pavitra. Number 1, She's Extreme. Number 2, Zenzella. And number 8, Queen Air. Locking that in, Shane?
Yeah, as I said, I've done the maps with Renaissance Woman settling first 4 and being able to stay. I've said the rest. That's it. Sticking to that.
Can you see the top 5s, Gab, or have I just got them?
Yeah, I've got them. Jackson, he's not on here, but he's got Queen Air, She's Extreme, Zenzella, Pavitra, and Renaissance Woman. I have got Queen Air, She's Extreme. I thought I'd throw Foxy Cleopatra in there. I think she's been really honest of late. Zenzella and Pavitra. And yours, Jack?
Mine, I'm She's Extreme from Queen Air, Pavitra, Zenzella. I think they'll be the map horses that kick a little bit, and Let's Frank Baby the best roughie.
And Rob, I've got yours as Renaissance Woman on top. She's Extreme, Pavitra, Zenzella, and as time goes by, there as well.
I might change as time goes by to Queen Air if that's okay. I just looked at the breeding and didn't do any form at all. I thought the Deep Impact could run well.
Absolutely, that's allowed.
Doesn't do any form now. He's doing a bit of pedigree analysis.
No, well, and it's also
on the run too, Shane. What?
Yeah.
You can't teach it.
And the time for Julia, Group 1 winner. Pretty sure it's a heavy track Group 1 winner as well. She was so bred in the purple. Let's just say.
Oh,
but
big
no,
boy stuff. That big brain stuff. Just to pull that out of the...
Bred in the purple.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Queen Air. I'll put that in for 5th. I'll dump the blue blood.
That's all right. All right, and we'll have a look at our best and value of the day there in Melbourne, and I'll start with mine, which is race 6, number 3, Zoo Style. I think he's been really honest of late. I think he finds a race, as long as he handles the straight, that he can definitely win. Great third behind Bella Nipotina, and then on to run a good third behind Paul Laley. I think this is a really good race for him to win. My value is going to be race 3, number 6, which is Rock O'Clock. I believe she won this race actually in 2020. However, she did have one more run under her belt. She wasn't hopeless last start at Caulfield. She usually sort of chucks in an average run, and I expect her to be running really well here. And she's paying $8.50 there.
Interesting, that race. The risers got her carrying 56 kilograms with 102 rating, which is like a bit like she's extreme. It's nearly 20 points clear of the next horse. Goes well fresh, that horse, and on a soft track too. But
yeah,
I think Uncle Chris's horse Roots is sort of can't be any more impressive in going through the grades. Also handles the wet, and it's got J-Mac. So I think I'll be betting both of them in that race. Not a bad race to bet in responsibly.
And Curls, you've got race 7, number 14, Toragine.
Origin, yes. Just sort of gone. This is one of those country heat final bullshit things. So I just looked at some this horse's data. Its last couple. It looks like a lovely progressive horse that's going to appreciate getting up to a mile against horses that are going nowhere. And I think it's a great price. I think it's well placed. It's got a good gait. Gets the Golf Pro on, which is he sticks. But this is like some big boy jockeys here. But anyway, I just thought it was just the obvious progressive horse in the race, and I think it's a great price at $5.50. So I made it my best.
And your value, race 9, number 1, Paris Dior.
Yeah, purely betting against the out of form James McDonald, who went winless Tuesday. Legless Tuesday, winless. I read somewhere that if you put James on a $12 shot, it starts $5. Some other bullshit. He's human. Paris Dior's a horse that I've followed via Rob Scurry's Mounting Yard Mail in Sydney, who's I know that he likes this horse. And race 9, Flemington, Thursday, sort of rain-affected ground. She's a heavy track winner. And Tommy's drawn to be nowhere near the fence because he's going to go up the inside on She's Extreme in the Oaks and get it beat, and then come out here and say, well, I better make sure I'm nowhere near the fence. Paris Dior from gate 13. I think it's great value at double figure odds.
I love her too, even though I hate her. Owes me about 40 units, Paris Dior. I love you. But yeah, I think I like the fact she's got the wide gate. She's giving, she might be had enough. Maybe she won't train on. Maybe she was just a great 2-year-old, but she's an absolute beast. I'll be very surprised if Jackson doesn't have her first or second in his numbers on looks. And I think at $10, she's my best value of the day. I'll chase it until I, maybe a bit like Eduardo. There's going to be a point where I say no more, but one more go at Paris Dior.
I wonder where you're going with that.
I wonder if Greece gets a run. Obviously it's second emergency there and well in the market. So I just want to keep an eye on that one. And obviously J-Mac would have to ride the.
Cool.
I watched this thing. I watched this thing on Twitter or something. Someone referred to it as the Kilmore colours.
Kilmore.
Yeah.
For Coolmore.
A tipping service. It was too.
You don't miss anything, do you?
Yeah,
do
one of
not
those,
miss
like if
anything
you
on
have
this shit.
$50 on this, you can back it back on this and you can arb this and you can make $8. Buy my system. .com. Sorry.
Gamble responsibly.
What's your best, Jack?
Rob,
My
no,
best. Oh,
we've
sorry.
forgotten about Rob's best.
Oh, Rob, what was your best? Paris Dior was your value.
Roots in the same race, but I'm going to have something on Rocket Clock as well. But I just think Roots is she's a bit progressive. Uncle Chris, she's lightly framed.
Very good at Mooney Valley through a heavy slop there, Rob.
She's borderline Panther. And she's just well put together. I think she'll
I
go very
heard
well.
I heard .com use your catchphrase again yesterday.
That's okay, It's a form of
Invoice
flattery.
in the mail.
It's good. It's good. It's fine. Sarah Lemur in that race, another one for Uncle Chris. Wouldn't surprise, but she seems to have sort of had on the way down. If he can bring her back up, I won't be surprised, but I'll be losing.
And Dicko, yours.
I think She's Extreme's a complete and utter moral. One of the easiest bets all week. I don't think you just need to bet responsibly, but it just ticks every box. And the value, well, while you guys have been dribbling a little bit there, I'm grading myself up a bit here, but I've gone with Troach in race 9, number 6. I just think he's a big price. Nash goes on. Barrier 1, a little bit of a concern, but we are down the straight. And if you remember, Rob, this is one of the greatest races of all time with real foundation race for the mailbag when we found.
I remember. I was in the car picking up the kids. I didn't get on. It was so sick. It was.
What horse was it? It was Hugh Bowman down the inside fence.
It was. Yeah, I've forgotten the name of it, but it was in the Lloyd Williams Cup with when that one at number 23. I can't remember. We'll remember as soon as the show's over.
Yes, Gab. My best is Troach in race 9, number 6 for Nash and James Cummings.
Wonderful. Well, hopefully we found a winner there for Kennedy Oaks Day. I'm very much looking forward to it. And anyone going out, enjoy the day. Hopefully the weather's a bit nicer than Tuesday, with the top a lot higher than 14. So thanks everyone for joining us. Anything else from you lot?
Rob, where are you betting next, please? Mailbag.com.au, download that app, and you are gambling responsibly if you download that app and you bet race to race, Mounting Yard Mail.
Yep, we're at Rose Hill on Saturday. So yeah, nothing on Wednesday. Saturday back to Rose Hill. Looking forward to it.
And Shane?
Fresh off a complete domination Melbourne Cup day.
He's happy with himself.
Me and Bailey, Bailey and I were a bit stiff on Saturday, and then we bounced back yesterday. Doomben Saturday amongst the usual stuff. Doomben, Gold Coast, Toowoomba. Just have to try and get past the fact there's only one Mashani horse in the 2-year-old this week. What are the narrative writers going to write about Brisbane this week?
Gab, have you got a bet for us? Another bet out what?
Ipswich. What have we got? Ipswich tomorrow, race 1, number 2. A nice little horse that's won 2 trials really well. Beat a smart one in roll up. That's come out and won again. So I really like that horse. So
make sure you're listening, guys. She's been on fire. Tip Gold Trip, your best one the other day. Sort of carrying the boys at the moment. We need a lift, guys.
I'm pretty right.
This is my first show in like weeks.
So, me and Rob are on the sitting here on the show. We haven't lost on the service.
Months.
That long, it's not funny. You do got a lift. Christ.
All right.
Thanks, mate.
Have a great next day, guys. Bye for now.